But now the drivers will head out. And for Clement Outram and Leo Robinson, it's going to be a fascinating duel as they all head out onto the circuit again. So Clement Outram on the front row of the grid from Leo Robinson, then Dylan Visser and Alexis Constant, Cameron Pratt-Thompson and Hugo Marti, from Hugo Magnas and Andreas Dupé, Morgan Moore and Ben Smith, then Cathal Clark and Bas Verdould, Hugo Martiniello and George Nassar, from Francisco Macedo and Sandro Perez, Oliver Stilp, Natalia Granada, Mick Blancasport, Alex Caralto, Adrien Alcubierre, Rincevos, Hugo Latorre and Ronan Hennessy. And I can confirm that Natalia Granada is not out there. So is Clement Outram going to make it 2 from 2? They come out of the final turn. The engine revs rise. And if Clement Outram does take the win, he will be pulled for the second superheat. Here we go. Let's find out. And Leo Robinson's in trouble. Leo Robinson is in trouble. The Algerian is slowing. He's going down to the back of the field. Problems for Robinson. Oh, he has fallen to the tail of the field, and Robinson is now going to have to try and salvage something from this race. It looks as though he's going to pull off right at the back of the field, and that's disastrous for the Algerian. He's still circulating, but for how much longer? And the start is actually under investigation, we are told. It's Alexis Constant who is under scrutiny. But having said that, the race is underway. And Clement Outram is running in front of his rival Dylan Visser. So Dylan Visser running in second place, right in behind him for the EGP Racing team. And the gaggle of drivers led in third position by the 55 of Morgan Moore is next up. That's the slow-moving 48 of Adrien Alcubierre. I think he's had a problem on the opening lap. Oh, he's got a problem with the rear bumper. So the rear bumper is running loose. So he's definitely had some contact somewhere on the road. But I think we're about to see Leo Robinson pull into the pits and retire. As up to third position, that's a big launch forward from Martiniello. Oh, sorry, that's Hugo Marti, I should say. Well, he was third. Now he's not. Cameron Pratt-Thompson has made his bid to get there instead. So Cameron Pratt-Thompson gets into third position. Marti and Magnas have both managed to get past Morgan Moore as well. And round the outside of Moore, there could be a pressure from Alexis Constant, although he finally gets squeezed out as the 18 of Hugo Martiniello battles for the position. Here goes Magnas. Magnas trying to go wheel to wheel with his rival. And then up the inside, that is a big lunge from the X30 KART. I think that is going to be Andreas Dupé trying to work his way forward. Hugo Marti's done a good job here to run at the front of this train as he now gets into third place in front of Cameron Pratt-Thompson. But Clement Outram and Dylan Visser are out in front of the rest of the field, and they've gone well clear. Third place is now Marti, then Pratt-Thompson, Magnas, Martiniello, Moore, Dupé, Nassar, Clark and Macedo, and here's the move for third again. This time it is Cameron Pratt-Thompson again in third, and Magnas through to fourth position. Is there going to be a charge through from Martiniello? Yes, there is. He comes through and they've run wide. Pratt-Thompson is going to lose out. Third place now is Hugo Martiniello. So the expert chassis gets into third position. A good bit of opportunistic driving again there from Hugo Martiniello. Really going well. And there is a technical flag for Adrien Alcubierre. I'm afraid that was all to be expected with his rear bumper flapping in the breeze. So he's going to be out of the running, and I'm afraid out of contention there too. So some big problems, but Clement Outram is still out in front of Dylan Visser, and it looks as though he could get 2 wins out of 2. The technical flag is shown on this lap, and that is for Alcubierre. But Outram in front of Dylan Visser, and then Hugo Marti running in a brilliant third position from, Hugo Martiniello, I should say, in front of Hugo Marti. Now Marti's going to go for Martiniello, and he's there. Third position for Hugo Marti in the Paralin. Martiniello in the X30 is trying to come around the outside of him as up to fifth comes Magnas. Magnas gets in on Cameron Pratt-Thompson, and they still squabble away further round the road as Cathal Clark gets himself into seventh position. And there's an off. Someone has come to a stop on the approach to the hairpin. So we've had a problem there. Somebody has pulled off the road. I didn't quite make out who that was, unfortunately. I think it's Alexis Constant So I think Alexis Constant may be out of the race. So that is unfortunate. You can see the kart stationary in the background there. Well, it looks as though we've lost Alexis Constant and Bas Verdould. So there is Bas Verdould. He's got out of his kart. And that is devastation for the Dutchman. But I think we've also had a problem for Alexis Constant, who has fallen right to the back of the field. So that is unfortunate for Alexis Constant, who is now 21st position. Leo Robinson is still going, by the way. He is running 19th in front of Bas Verdould. So there are definitely some difficulties there for a couple of drivers in the field. But Cathal Clark has got his way up into 6th position, trying to close in on Hugo Magnas. And Sacha van Pad Bosch, having now witnessed Clement Outram and Dylan Visser battling away for position. If Outram finishes where he is, then Sacha van Pad Bosch is going to be pole position for the second of the, well, this is interesting, for the second of the 2 qualifying heats. So with the results amended, it looks as though it's going to be Garcia in front of Van Pad Bosch on the front row of the starting grid after the amendments to the previous heat. So now they're only racing for 3rd position overall. So that's an adjustment to the results after the previous heat has come in. So pole position then in the Junior X30 races is going to be, for the super heats, Aaron Garcia and Sacha van Pad Bosch. Meanwhile, up the inside, there goes Martiniello and Cathal Clark. They get through into 3rd and 4th, and Clark isn't waiting around, into 3rd. With 2 laps to go, the British driver moves up into 3rd position. Delighted, I'm sure his team will be. So the Victory Lane driver, Cathal Clark, following in the footsteps of his teammate Noah Montero, who took the win earlier on. And now Cathal Clark is looking to do the same sort of drive here. But he is going to run out of time to catch up to Outram and Visser. But Outram and Visser are going to end up in 1st and 2nd without any problems at all. So there is Cathal Clark in front of Hugo Martiniello, Magnas, Pratt Thompson and Hugo Marti. Then George Nassar in front of Morgan Moore. And then in 10th place it is Francisco Macedo ahead of Sandro Perez and Andreas Dupé from La Torre, Stilt, Caralto, Blancasport, Smith, Robinson and Voss ahead of Ronan Hennessy and Alexis Constant. The final lap, and try as he might, Dylan Visser just can't quite get close enough to Clement Outram. Outram may have won 2 heats if he finishes where he is, but he's not going to get the front row of the grid, or certainly he's not going to get pole position, I should say, for the super heats. He is going to be on the front row of it though. So Clement Outram is going to be the only driver to take 2 race mates. How about this for a little bit of banter? Marty on the inside of Pratt Thompson and Hugo Magnas. Magnas will not yield, and that gives Pratt Thompson the opportunity to come back in on the inside. Round the outside, Magnas is trying to park it to keep Pratt Thompson at bay, and it works well. But Clement Outram is going to take the victory. He'll be the only driver to win 2 races, but it will only be good enough to be 3rd in the rankings, and that will put him on the front row for the first super heat. So out of the final turn, Clement Outram for the 2nd time today takes the checkered flag. The only driver to win twice, but he will still be aggregate 3rd in the rankings, as Aaron Garcia and Sacha van Pad Bosch have both scored fewer points. So a good win for Clement Outram. Pretty straightforward for the Frenchman, actually. He didn't really have to break a sweat in that one at all. And in 2nd place, Dylan Visser of the Netherlands, ahead of the audacious Cathal Clark. Won the IAME Euro Series title in 2020 in Mini. In his 2nd year in Junior, he has stepped up with Victory Lane Karting, and that was an almighty drive to get himself up into 3rd position. So, some good stuff so far. Great racing still to come. There's going to be plenty more for the drivers to do, and we'll still get some great racing from them all. So we'll see what the contenders are able to do as the challenges continue on. But what a great result for Clement Outram. 2 wins out of 3 starts. But I'm afraid his 8th place finish in one of them means that he will be 3rd overall. Clement Outram and Dylan Visser from Cathal Clark and Hugo Martiniello, then Hugo Magnas and Cameron Pratt Thompson, Hugo Marti, Morgan Moore, George Nassar and Francisco Macedo. Then Hugo Latorre and Sandro Perez and Alex Caralto, the trio of Spanish drivers. Oliver Stilp finishing in front of Ben Smith for Mick Barrett Racing. Andreas Dupé is ahead of Mick Blankenspor. Leo Robinson, whatever happened, it caused him to drop all the way to 18th place. Rinsavos, Ronan Hennessy and Alexis Constant, with retirements from Baz Verduld and Adrien Alcubierre. And unfortunately, there was a non-start for Natalia Granado Ferrero. And provisionally, all that means is that Aaron Garcia will be pole position for the first superheat tomorrow morning. The second superheat will be headed by Sasha Van Padbosch.